Coach Nicole, a fitness expert for SparkPeople.com. Today I just wanted to talk to you about a few basic principles of Pilates that whenever you take a class or do a video, you might want to think about all these things and keep them in mind so that you're working correctly and with good form and getting the most out of your Pilates exercises. So I'm going to go over 7 quick principles. The first one is to align and lengthen. This is talking about your spine. All the time in every exercise, you want to think about creating length, drawing your spine from the tailbone all the way up like you've got a string, pulling your head up towards the top of the head, lengthening there, pulling those abs in, all right? The next one, number 2, is to think about the position of your shoulders. Most of us tend to round forward or pour the shoulders up. In Pilates, you really want to focus on drawing the shoulders down away from the ears and slightly pinching those shoulder blades towards the center of your back and holding that position for your exercises. The next one is breath, and in Pilates, breathing is one of the most important things that you can do. It's really important that you do it correctly. You may feel really weird doing the Pilates breath, like in a class, for example, but it's going to help you to get the most out of your workout. So here's how we do it. Think about your belly being nice and flat, like you've got a tight corset all the way around the waist. You're pulling your belly button in towards your spine. Along with that, I want you to think about your rib cage moving as you breathe. So as you inhale through the nose, your rib cage expands out to the side. As you exhale, you pull those abs in really tight and push the air out through the mouth. So you should be able to hear that breath. If you're doing it correctly, that forceful exhale is pulling in your deepest abdominal muscles, and that is helping you to get more out of all of your exercises. So just try a few breaths. Rib cage expands. Belly comes in flatter. Your belly should not rise or fall along with your breath. Spine lengthens. Good, one more. And exhale. Now try to practice and really think about that breathing and all the exercises that you do. Our next point is to really focus, and we want to focus on the core in Pilates. You want to think about every movement originating from the core. That's your abs, your obliques, your lower back, maybe even the hips a little bit. So think about this movement being nice and controlled with everything that you do. The next point, number 5, is to use control. Now, these next few points are the ones that I see most commonly done wrong in classes that I teach. So, you want every movement you do to be slow and controlled, never using momentum. I'll show you an example. On this leg raise, if I were to lift my leg up and down really fast, as high as I could lift, that's not practicing control. But if I take it down nice and slow, lifting slowly and lowering just as slowly, that is control. My body's nice and stable, I can use my breath along with it. The next point, number 6, is to be grounded and stable. This is another common mistake that I see a lot of. Whenever you're doing an exercise, your body should be as still as possible besides what one part of you might be moving. So here's an example. On a single leg kick, when I bring the leg forward and back, notice my torso is perfectly still. I'm not leaning or rocking at all. What I see a lot is people moving forward and back. They're not being stable, they're not using control. So if you need to, make that movement a little smaller or a little slower so the rest of this can stay still. The last point, number 7, is to use an appropriate range of motion. Most people think that they need to lift as high as they can or as fast as they can to do an exercise, but that's not going to help you do it in correct form. Master the basics before you take it up to the next level. So, when I'm using all of these principles together, I'm breathing, my spine is lengthened, the shoulders are down and back, thinking about this originating from the core. I'm practicing a slow, controlled movement, no matter what I'm working on, without any rocking or sliding, anytime you're leaning, kneeling, or lying on the mat. So that's it. Those are the 7 basic principles that you should try to work on in all of your Pilates exercises. For more fitness ideas, visit SparkPeople.com.